What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here with the last review for right now. This is Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episode 2. The episode is titled Sushi Rolls and Wedding Woes, you guys. So, before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm going to need you guys to do me a big, huge favor and stop taking me on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Do me a big favor and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, share the video. Once again, definitely like the video, you guys, so that YouTube can promote me to other people so that we can grow this family. And you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Real Housewives of Miami. So this review might not be that long either, because this episode, honestly, episode 2 didn't give that much either, but it gave a little. No, it really didn't. So I'm gonna start up with Lisa, right? So we see Lisa. So Lisa and Lenny, they went out to celebrate his birthday, right? So they go to sit down, and Lisa notices out the side of her eyes, hey, it's Larissa. So Larissa's out on a date with some guy that they didn't show his. Did they show his face? I don't remember if they showed his face, but Larissa was out on a date. So Lisa and Lenny went over there to talk to Larissa. I'm like, damn, you see that the woman's on a date. There are no cameras by her, so why would you go over there and speak to her? Why not just sit there and send her a text message like, what's up, Larissa? Like, I see you, you on a date. Like, should we come over and speak to you? I mean, we do have the camera crew here, and I know you don't have the camera crew with you, but should we come over and speak or not? And give her the option, but they went over there and talked to her anyways, right? Now, like I just said, Lisa and Lenny are out on a date, right? They're celebrating his birthday. She thinks that it's Lenny's 56th birthday. Lenny said, I'm not 56. So I'm like, she says, oh, you're 55. I'm like, girl, how in the hell do you not know how old your husband is? So then once again, Lisa keeps talking about this emotional affair that Lenny had. Now she keeps talking about it, but she keeps saying that she thinks it's an emotional affair because she doesn't think that Lenny had sex with a woman, because she has Lenny's passwords to everything. I'm like, Lisa, how damn dumb do you think? Like, listen to yourself when you say that, right? You're saying that you have the passwords to his stuff. That don't mean that the man didn't have a sexual affair with this woman. That just means that he was smart enough not to have the woman, that just means he was smart enough not to have a paper trail, basically. Like, that's really what it means. The man just didn't have a paper trail, but it doesn't mean that he didn't do anything with this said woman. So I was just like, girl, you really do. I mean, that's stupid. That's stupid. Stupid. It just sounds dumb. But she chose to stay with him. I don't have no issues with that. That ain't got shit to do with me. But let's move on, you guys. So let's talk about Gertie real quick. Now, in this, so still we're getting introduced to people. So Gertie, we get to learn a little bit more about Gertie, right? So Gertie tells us about her relationship with Russell, right? So I told you guys in our first review that Russell and Gertie are high school sweethearts, right? So Gertie said that she would speak to him, hi Russell, hi Russell, hi Russell. And then one day she was like, Russell, when a person speaks to you, the polite thing is to say hi back, right? So then she says the next time she spoke to him, instead of him just speaking to her, he came up to her and he gave her a hug. And from there, they were inseparable, right? And we saw photos of them from the past, right? So then, you know, she was talking about when it came to her going to college that she was going to go to NYU, but I guess they were so in love with each other that she decided that she was going to stay there in Miami and they would go to a local college. And then the rest is history, right? So then we later see her in the episode. Now she is going to be, like I told you guys in the previous review, that she is planning Alexia's wedding, right? So we see Alexia and Marisol. They're going to go meet her. So they're at the Spanish monastery, right? And this is where she and her husband, Russell, got married at, right? When they got there, Marisol was giving us the rundown of the Spanish monastery, right? She's like, you know, this is interesting because I have friends that are gay, and they told me that the forest that's not too far from here, right, you know, right down the pathway, that's a cruising spot for, you know, gay men. And if you guys don't know what she means by cruising spot, I'm gonna give you guys the gist of it. So a cruising spot is a place where gay men go to hook up with each other, right? You know, they could, you know, masturbate, they could have sex, so that's where gay men go to hook up, right? public places that they hook up at. Just wanted to let you guys know what she was talking about when she said cruising, because I've heard that term a lot. I heard that term once before. I heard that term, one of my friends say cruising. I'm like, what do you mean cruising? They said, I'm going cruising. I'm like, oh, you going in the car? They're like, nah, that ain't what I'm talking about. So I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're going to move over and we're going to talk about Julia. So I do like Julia. I think Julia is going to be someone that I really like. But the one thing that I got to say about Julia, that card that she has with that spot paint all over it is ugly as fuck, is what it is, right? So we see her and Adriana. So Adriana and Julia are really good friends with each other, right? So they're meeting at this storage unit, right? So Julia's wife, Martina, is a painter, as well as, you know, playing tennis, right? So she's a painter, and she uses her tennis balls and her racket to paint. So Adriana is going to be hosting this event where she's going to, I guess, be selling some of Martina's paintings, right? Now, I don't know if we plan this up for the cameras or what, but there is a little bit of a vibe between Adriana and Julia. It gives me a kind of a sexual vibe. It gives me a, like, we're attracted to each other vibe. That's what it gives me. Now, you guys can let me know if you watched the episode and if what you think. Do I think that Julia and Adriana have done anything? No. Do I think that Julia and Adriana would do anything? No. I just think that I mean, it gives you that vibe, but I don't think that they would cross the line. I don't think that they would, or let's say I hope they wouldn't. I hope they wouldn't, right? So let's move forward. Let's talk about Larissa. So we see Larissa. So Larissa is with her assistant, right? So Larissa is getting ready to do some stuff for OnlyFans. And once again, I'm not here to shame Larissa for doing OnlyFans, because I mean, that ain't who I am. Like, you know, get it how you live, boo. Now, when she was sitting there talking about it's like a dating app for her, I'm like, girl, how is that like a dating app for you? When these men and probably women are only coming to you because they are, you know, fascinated by your body, right? But hey, if you want to look at it as a dating app, who am I to say boo, cat, dog, or what, right? I just want to know how you make $10,000 a day. Like, I just want to know that. She talks about the fact that, you know, I do know that on OnlyFans, you can tip a person, right? I do know that part. You can tip people on OnlyFans. It's so interesting. In these first two episodes, they talked about the Kardashians a lot, right? She talked about how they fell out. You know, she talked about their relationship with the Kardashians. And it was so funny. They were talking about they showed people who were connected to the Kardashians and how much money they made on OnlyFans. They showed Ray J, who's had no money because he just joined OnlyFans. Tyga has made $7.69 million a day, and Black China $20 million. I'm like, damn, the fuck are y'all doing? But I do know one thing. I do know probably why they make so much money is because they charge a grip loaf for their OnlyFans, right? And I do know that with Tyga's OnlyFans, I know he was having sex over there, but I don't know about China's OnlyFans. But Larissa is sending people feed pics. I know Evelyn Lozada did that as well. I know Evelyn was doing that, sending people, you know, doing her feet porn. Do people really get off to feet porn? I always find that interesting. How do you get off to other people's feet? Like smashing their feet into things? It's interesting. I mean, I'm not knocking people who get off to it, but it's just very interesting to me. But we're gonna move on, you guys. So we see Alexia, right? So in the last episode, we left off with Alexia at Marisol's place, right? Remember, I told you that Alexia and Marisol were going through this man's Instagram that was the lover of Herman, right? So they were looking at his pictures and they were looking at his body and they were talking about his penis, how big his penis is. So they showed, you know, the pictures of him in his swimsuits, right? But they blurred his face out, right? And you guys remember that Alexia said that she's okay with meeting up with this man to have a conversation with him about his relationship with Herman, right? So Marisol told her, well, if you do that, then you should do that before you actually get married, which I agree with that, right? Do it before the wedding. But why do you want to meet up with him, right? Herman is deceased. You and Herman were divorced before he died. So why does it matter at this point? And I don't know how long it's been since Herman passed away, but Why? Why dredge up the past? That's my whole question. Why are we dredging up the past, right? So she's talked about Todd, right? Now the term that she kept calling him, I don't know how to pronounce it or say it, so I can't repeat her, right? But Todd, I think he's Italian, right? So we see her and Todd as they went on a date with each other, right? So she says that she's 6 years older than Todd. I was like, oh, wow. Looking at Todd, I thought he was the older one. That ain't me being shady. I just really thought Todd was older than Alexia. Because, I mean, looking at him, I just really thought Todd was the older one, right? So, Peter and Todd, they don't get along with each other, right? And the reason, we find out a little bit later in the episode why they don't get along with each other. And I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it now. We'll wait. They don't get along with each other, right? So she wants things to work out because how can she marry Todd if he doesn't get along? If her and her son, her soon-to-be husband and her son don't get along. Actually, we can go ahead and talk about it. So Nicole had a party, right? So she was sitting with the ladies and she was telling them that, you know, Frankie and Peter smokes weed, right? So Peter smokes weed and I'm trying to see if I hear my cousin. Sorry, you guys. Because my little cousins, they should be coming back. I don't know if they are. I'm trying to see if I hear them knocking. But yeah, so Peter and Frankie was smoking weed with each other one day and Frankie's blood pressure dropped, right? So that freaked her out. So then she said that, you know, Peter and Todd got into it because of that, right? So we also find out about Peter that Peter, you know, he's lived in Paris, but now he's back in Miami. He lives in downtown Miami. We also find out that he was married, but now he's going through the process of getting a divorce, right? So we see her and Peter have a dinner with each other, right? They talk about the wedding. He asked her, do they have the venue? She says they're still between venues at this point. And he asked her, do they have a wedding date? So at this point, my little cousin just texted me, so she's not here yet. So, he asked about a wedding date, right? So they don't have a venue and they don't have a date at this point, right? But she tells him that they're looking at August 5th, right? And he says, so around the time of my birthday, she said, yeah. So she wants him and Frankie to walk her down the aisle, but Peter tells her that he might not be there when she gets be there because that's his birthday week. You know, around his birthday. He's thinking about going to Tokyo. And I was thinking to myself, Alexia, if that's around the week of if that's around your son's birthday, why would you have a wedding? You don't think the boy's not going to celebrate his birthday? But okay, Alexia, I guess. But Alexia, at this point, she wants for them to be cordial and amicable with each other, which nothing's wrong with that. Get it? So we're going to move forward, you guys, and we're going to wrap the episode up. So Nicole, we found out a little bit more about she and Anthony, right? So she and Anthony, they are both born and raised in Miami. They met each other when they went to Vegas, right? They've been together at this point 6 years. So she's telling him that she wants to have an event, right? She wants to invite all the ladies over and she wants them to bring their husbands with them. But she's worried about the fact that people are going to ask them how long that have they been married to each other. I'm like, this is stupid, right? To me, it's stupid. Why are you worried about what people think? If you're good in your relationship, introduce him how you want to introduce him. If you want to say that this is my partner, he and I are not married, we're not looking to get married, say that, be done with it. Nothing else has to be said further from that. But she's making this big deal about it. However, Anthony doesn't give a fuck. And I'm like, exactly. Like, why are you worried about what people are like? Why would people ask you how long have you been married unless you're the one that keeps telling people? But like I said in the last review, she's going around telling people that they're married. Stop saying that if you don't want people to ask you the question of how long have you been married. Or here's a one better. When somebody says, how long have you been? You're saying that you're saying he's your husband, right? And if someone says, well, how long have you been married? How long have you been married? Say 5 years, 6 years. It ain't that fucking hard. It really ain't that fucking hard, right? Now, this sushi party that she had, I just want to know what was the purpose of that geisha. That's all I want to know. The geisha with the table. What was the purpose of that? I didn't understand it, right? Alexia got herself locked in the bathroom. Marisol and Kiki, they had a conversation, and they both kind of apologized to each other, right? Kiki is sitting here talking about the fact that she's been going through some things, and I'm like, girl, what the fuck did that have to do with that ignorant ass question you asked about putting your mouth on a goat's udders? It ain't had shit to do with nothing. But you guys, that's the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about episode 2. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, guys, and into the next one. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye.